Hello everybody! This time I come with a Q&A because I have been receiving some questions and they are always very similar, so I decided to make a video on them, and it's easier for me to answer to everybody, and it can even be an answer for someone that didn't ask but it has the same doubts. So here we go. The first question is, where are you from? I'm Portuguese, from Lisbon. Why are you traveling? First of all, I've always loved traveling, and I thought that I needed some time alone with myself to understand what to do with my life from now on, and maybe work abroad. I thought that traveling was the best thing to do for me at this time. That's why I'm traveling, and of course I want to know other things, other cultures, new people, and new cities, and all things that traveling involves. So yeah, that's why I'm traveling. Why north? Well, I would say that I have a huge curiosity about Scandinavia for a few years now. One of my best friends, she studied here in Sweden when we were in college, and when she came back, she was always telling me about how they do this and that in Sweden, and how Sweden was beautiful. So in the back of my mind, it started to grow a huge interest in coming to Scandinavia, and mainly to Sweden. What led you to this journey? I would say that it was a lot of small different things, but mainly I was working in an office and I was getting very mad at the routine. It was very difficult for me at some point. I was really tired of doing the same every day, and also I felt that I was doing something that I was not really passionate about. That made it harder to keep going with that routine, and that's why I decided to search for a way to have more freedom and to live my life to the fullest. What do you want to achieve with this trip, style of life? What is the ideal outcome of the trip? The most important thing for me is to have more clarity about what I really want to do and how I want to spend my time from now on. I'm sure I won't have all the answers that I would like to have, but I think this has been a very important time for me to search for some answers and to have more clarity and to feel more aligned with all the things that I believe and I want to spend my time with. The ideal outcome of this trip, I think it will be start working in projects that make my heart shine, that I feel that they are meaningful and they can be helpful and somehow to this world we are living in. How does it feel to be alone in nature for a few days? I would say that it's getting easier every day, and I think in the beginning I was more scared to be alone in the middle of nowhere, but now I really feel comfortable about it, and I feel that every day I enjoy even more to be alone in the middle of nowhere. But of course there are some moments that I really would love to have my friends and family around to share a beer or a fire, or the view or the sunset. So yeah, but I feel great in the middle of nowhere for a few days. It's quite an experience, and I'm very happy I have the opportunity to do it. What about safety? Did I ever felt unsafe in Sweden in a car? I've always felt very, very safe in Sweden. And not only in Sweden, I would say that in all my journey I have been feeling very safe. And also I have Koa, that helps a lot because she will bark at everyone who approaches the van, or she will bark at everyone who shows up in a place if we are alone in the middle of nowhere. So that's very good. I really feel very safe in general, but with her I feel even better. That question. Okay. Toilet situation. I have been avoiding this question, but it's the most asked one, so I really need to talk about this one, but I will be very brief. I have a pot in the front drawer that I open the drawer, I put a biodegradable bag inside the pot. I do what I need to do. I close the bag and I put it in the dry toilet because they have dry toilets everywhere. Sometimes I can use the dry toilets if they are good, but some of them are not amazing, so I rather use my pot inside the van, and I think it's easy and clean and it works very well for me. How do I afford traveling? Well, I worked a lot before I started this trip. So I was working in an architecture office during the week. I was working in a hostel on the weekends. I was doing babysitting when the parents needed after work. It was not every day. I also did architecture work out of the office. So that's how I collected some money to this trip. I'm still living from that money. But I have been working on some things along the way. At the moment, I'm working with an awesome office back in Portugal. They work with bioconstruction, and I'm helping them at the time as a freelancer. And I really love to work with them. I'm very, very happy with this collaboration, and I hope we can keep working together for a long time. Of course, I travel very, very low cost, and I've also choose to stay the last winter in an eco village where I could work for them and learn tons of things that I really wanted to learn. I could have food and a place to stay, so I didn't need to go shopping every week and I didn't need to pay rent. Last question. What is the grand plan? There is no grand plan. I understand that I have been planning the seasons when they come. I have been trying to understand what do I want to do in the next season, and then I work towards that goal. And at the moment, I'm working for the next season, that is winter. I'm looking for a job and I'm looking for a house to settle for the winter, because the winter here in Sweden up north is very, very cold. I can't stay in the van for sure. But I also would love to use this time in the winter that is very dark and cold out here to work and save some more money to probably keep traveling next spring. So that's how I plan, and there's not a grand plan, it's just small plans on the way. I hope you liked this video. It was just some little information about all those questions, but I think I gave you a little bit more of my intentions and my ideas about all these topics that you asked me to. And yeah, if you have some more questions, you can write it down and I will try to answer them. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.